Hello friends, this is Mr. Smith with OneUniversalCircle.com, and today I'm going to show you how you can give yourself a ball fade. All right, with so much happening in the world, basically the whole country is on lockdown. I know everybody is looking rough, and I purposely grew out my beard and didn't shave or cut my own hair so I can make this video. It has nothing to do with the world on lockdown. So, I'll show you my arsenal that I have down here below. I have two sets of clippers. I got an old toothbrush. I have basically a clipper brush. I have some spray and some pre and after clipper cleaner. This cleaner will lubricate and also sterilize your blades. It's very important that you keep that lubricated. You keep the blades sharp, you keep the blades clean. All right, so there's a couple of different ways we can do this. How I'm gonna show you, I'm just gonna show you a couple of ways that I do it, but if you follow these step-by-steps, then you'll come out looking GQ. Now, if you don't come out looking GQ, which you probably won't if this is your first time cutting your own hair, then that's okay. Because you know what? Nobody's gonna see it anyway for at least another 2 or 3 weeks. So that's all right. So let's get started. Okay, so look, everybody has a different grade of hair, right? You can see, whoa, the grays are really coming out. My hair is almost all gray. Everybody has a different grade of hair, right? So I find that the more coarse your hair is, typically the easier it is to cut. But my hair is a little bit wavy, right? So what I like to do is I start with a guard. Going with a guard is always the best first steps because you can always cut more of your hair, but you can't bring it back, right? So you want to start high. If you don't like how high it is, go a little bit lower. But what I like to do is, for the way I like my hairstyle, is I use the 00 guard, right? I also have an adjustable clipper blades, right? This is all the way low, and that's all the way high, right? So here's how we do it. I've just attached my guard to my clippers, and what I like to do is I basically like to get my hair as low as the third notch. These notches are very important because it basically determines the height or depth that you're going to cut your hair. So I like to use the 00 guard, and I like to be on the third notch. This will be the lowest that I take the top. All right, so now that I've got my clippers on, I got them lubricated, I got my guard on, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start cutting, right? So first thing I want to do is I want to go with the grain of my hair. I don't like to go against the grain of my hair until a little bit later on. So here we go. We're just going to do this. Just kind of go light like this. We'll go with the grain. From about the back of my head all the way forward. And I'll keep doing this until I get it to the length or get it how short that I want to get it, right? So I'll just keep doing this until I get it as low as I want. Now, me, myself, I like to keep my hair brushable. I don't like it to be too low. You know, I got to let them waves shine through, right? So when you don't hear the blades cutting anymore, it means that you pretty much got it as low as you can go at the setting that you're at. All right. Also, I guess I should have mentioned that everybody's hair grows different, right? Everybody's hair grows different. So you kind of need to pay attention just to how your hair grows. But for the most part, my hair just grows out and over. And so that's why I cut my hair from back to front. All right, now that I have my hair to the length that I want it, the way my hair grows, in order to fade it, I kind of need to get right up in here. So right here, I need to go against the grain, just right here. But now that I have it to the length that I want it, I'm gonna go against the grain just around here, right? So I'm gonna do it just like this. Still on the same setting that I had it before, but I'm just gonna do this. Right, just taking all this off. I can even come right here. Right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that on the left side too. I'm not gonna record it, but I'm gonna do that on the left side too. So right in here, right at the top of my temple, right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut all this back. Then what I also like to do after I get all this, the side down to where I like to do it, I like to come back over this just to cut any hairs, any like uneven hairs that I might have missed during the first initial cut. Okay, now what you might say is, well, how do I do the back? Well, here's the kicker. You will need a mirror. Well, actually, you'll need two mirrors. You need one to hold in your hand, and you need one so you can see this back here. Now, right now, I'm using my phone, so I'm actually using that as a mirror. So here's what you do. Right, just because this is how my hair grows, I just do it just like this. I just kind of know my own scalp. You know, I know my own head. I know, I got the fat head. It's all right, my mom tells me about that all the time. You got a fat head. So I just do like this. Now right here, technically I am going against the grain, right? I am going against the grain, but that's okay. Because all this is going to be faded later on, right? So once I get this right here the way that I want it, right? You can kind of see that a little bit. That's pretty much where I want it. So I'm going to do that on the right side, and I'm going to do that on the left side. All right, now that I've shaved down the top part to length, excuse me, I got the hiccups. And then I've shaved the sides, right? I've shaved the sides back. I got everything to length. Now all I want to do is, so I started with the 3 notch, right? Now all I want to do is bump it up one more time to the 2nd notch. And I'm going to repeat that same process, only I'm not going to come way up here, right? Because I already have that to length. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do this. I'm going to fade. I'm going to go up to about right here. And I'm going to take that number 2 notch and I'm going to do this. I'm going to go all the way around my head on both sides, right and left. Now, remember I told you, so I'm using my phone as a mirror, right? Now, my mirror is bigger than my phone, but so that I'm conveying it to you, I'm basically going to do this same thing on both sides, right? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fade. I'm going to fade all that in right there. I'm going to fade in both sides all the way around. I'm going to do it on my right and my left. But I started at 3, so I'll go to 2, and then I'll go to 1. All right, so now that I have the top cut to length, I've kind of faded in the sides a little bit with the guard on, of course. I took the guard off. Then I set my clippers to the highest setting that it'll go, all the way down to the highest setting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go this way, and I'm going to fade all of this in. All right, that's the next step. Just like this. Remember, you can go low. Or, I'm sorry, you can go, when you fading this, you can stay low below your line, below the 2nd and 3rd line. But if you go too high and you cut all that off, you can't come back. So always go higher, especially like on your top part. Go higher than you would normally go to see if you like that. If you don't like that, take your guard down one more time and go lower with the guard on. So you can take your level down, because if you cut it and it's still too high for you and you don't like that, you can go lower. But if you go too low first, son. Now I'm all the way to the third notch, which I'm gonna do just like this. Now with your mirror, with your two mirrors, you're just gonna kind of do this all the way around this side. And then when I put the clippers in my right hand, I'm gonna do that same thing on the other side of my head, right? Dang, got the fat head, don't I? Okay, so you can kind of see right now how it's, I know I don't have the best lighting. This is just in the bathroom, but I'm just kind of doing like this. I'm just fading this all in. All right, so I'm coming towards the end of it. My notch on basically number 1. And I'm just shaving the bottom part of my neck, the very bottom part of my head, going from level to level to level. All right, it's just all levels. You bring your guard down a little bit more, you fade it in. You bring your guard down a little bit more and you fade it in. As simple as that. Ball this right here. I'm just ball this. Now, how I like to do it, I like my beard line and everything to kind of come across my ear line. Okay, so now looks like I got the fade down tight. I got the fade. All this is bald right here. Let's get a rear view. Right, all that's bald. I got to the length I want. Looking pretty good, right? So now what comes in for most would be the really hard part, right? Is the lineup. And for that, I got my T-liners. Now, you know what? I could do this if I only had one pair of clippers, which these are a really good pair of clippers. If I only had these pair of clippers, I could do the line, but what works best is my T-liners, right? See how thin that blade is? It's a thinner line, so I'm just gonna go across the top. Now, when you do your line, what I would suggest is go low on your line first. Go low. So you can see all this is faded in, so I'm just gonna come down and I'm gonna go zun, 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 zun. I'm just gonna go across here and I'm gonna try to match it over here on this side. Now you can screw this up, for real. You can screw this up, but all you have to do is just look at the symmetry of your head. So what I would suggest is start low on your line, because like I said before, you can always go low and then bring it up. But if you go up first and you go too high, woo, you're gonna be jacked, and you don't want to do that, right? So start low first. Just look at your head, look at the symmetry of your head, and just take a straight line all the way across. And you're gonna do it in increments, right? The increments will be the length of the blade. All right, so I've never done this before, so I'm gonna see if I can do this on my phone, right? Right, so you can see how my line, how I started it, right? And I'm gonna get off my phone so I don't jack my hairline up. But basically that's how you start, right? You just go from wherever you want to be right here, boom, shave it over. I like to do my corner first, and then I come over the top and I just start lining him up, just like that. All right, now that I got everything faded up, I gave myself a line and a line across the top, right? I'm all lined up. That's all the line that I need. I'm all lined up. I'm good to go. So my fade is done. For the video, I had to cut it short, but you get the drift. And so there you have it. Ball fade, shaped up, and now you are GQ and ready to take on the world. Holla!